Okay, the session is now being recorded. So yung ating topic for today is about the introduction to dynamic routing. So ano ba yung dynamic routing protocol? What does it mean? What does it indicates? So when we say dynamic, it's more likely automatic or kumbaga sa ibang term, nabibigyan natin ng solusyon yung mga hindi nagagawa ng manual or static. That's why we will be introducing to you the dynamic routing protocol. Anyway, this PowerPoint is from Cisco Network Academy. So we will be discussing it. So our objectives here is to describe the role of the dynamic routing protocol and place these protocols in the context of modern network design, as well as identify several ways to classify routing protocols. Then we can also describe yung metrics na how it is used na by routing protocols and determine the administrative distance. Later, we will be discussing yung tinatawag na AD or administrative distance as well as identifying the different elements of the routing table. So to begin with, ano ba yung router? One of the job of the router is to send packets, no, or to send or to share information between routers. But the difference is we will be using it dynamically. When we say dynamically, we are automatically when it comes to updating ng routing table. So, kung in comparison with the static routing, although routers, the job of the router is to find the best path. So, kung hindi given yung path, choose an alternative path. So, we have two methods. Sabi nga, let me iterate it. Doon sa routing natin na tinatawag, no? Doon sa tinatawag natin na routing, may dalawang klase. We have the static, no, and dynamic. Yan ang static. So yung static, ito yung mas manual. Ito yung manual configuration. So ibig sabihin, kung tatlong router yung i-configure mo na static, so kinakailangan mo yan na sa isang router, dalawa yung kanyang destination. So dalawang beses ka mag-IP route, tandaan nyo, no? Ngayon dito, para ma-avoid yung manual configuration, nagkaroon ng dynamic. Later, we will be introducing you yung mga protocols na ginagamit. But again, pag sinabing dynamic, no, pag sinabing dynamic is automatic sharing of information. No? Okay. So now, itong dynamic routing, nahahati pa yan sa dalawa. Later, we will be discussing, no? Kung ano yung under nitong dynamic routing. So anyway, yan yung ibig sabihin ng dynamic routing. Where the updates or the routers dynamically pass updates. So kung dynamic yan, automatic siya. Kapag halimbawa, nagbago yung topology mo, so automatic nag-update. Unlike kapag static, hindi. Kasi manual yung configuration. Now, as we continue further, if you are using remote, for example, you are using virtual private network, one of the requirement of the VPN is you have an internet connection. You should have security, yung encryption, and the tunneling. Diba? Now, one of the purpose of the dynamic routing is to discover remote networks as well as maintaining up-to-date routing information. Kasi once your topology changes, lalo kung ikaw yung nag-expand, lumalaki ang network mo, automatic nag-update. Kaya mas preferred natin ang dynamic kapag malaki ang network. Kapag static, pag static kasi pang maliliitan, no? Again, this is also choosing the best path. Mamaya i-discuss natin yung mga metrics na nagiging basis paano pumili ng best path. Now, the router or the dynamic routing, one of the features ito is the ability to find a new best path. Lalo na kung yung kanyang current path is no longer available. So, pipili siya either in bandwidth or in hops. Yun yung mga example ng metric. Kaya aalamin natin, ano ba yung routing protocol operation? na ginagamit natin so that we can find the alternative path. When we say routing protocols, these are used to exchange routing information between routers. Take note of this, guys, no? Itong makikita natin na 172.16.1.0, yan ay mga network addresses. Network addresses yan. O mga subnets, no? So, nakadepende tayo doon sa subnet mask. Kung /24, alam natin, ang /24 ay merong ilang users. Meron niyang 254 users. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng kong gamitin sa network ko from .1 hanggang 254. Kasi ito yung mga intended users if we are using this one. Okay? So, take note of that. So, ando pa rin yung subnetting. Now, as we continue, dynamic routing protocols, syempre, when we are exchanging routing information, yan ay computer, yung mga routers. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong algorithm. So, ginagamit na algorithm yan to facilitate exchanging of information or routing information. So, mayroon tayong algorithm para malaman kung ano ba yung best path. No? Halimbawa, nag-fail itong current path. So, meron tayong algorithm, no? Lalo sa ginagamit sa facilitation nun. Now, yung mga routing protocol messages, yan ay ginagamit, no, to discover yung mga neighboring routers, adjacent routers. Kasi mahalaga yung mga adjacent. Yung adjacent na yun yung network mo. Yun yung magiging basis mo. Lalo na kapag ikaw ay nag-configure na ng router, no? Now, in comparison ng static, may mga advantage din. Siyempre, kung ang preferred mo ay maliit na network, I would rather choose static routing. Kasi ang static routing, tandaan nyo, is for smaller network. Kasi bakit? Bakit siya pag sinabi nating smaller network? Mas madaling ma-manage. No? Easy to configure. Kasi nga maliit. At in terms of security, more secured. Now, it can back up multiple interfaces on a router. Disadvantage of static routing. Siyempre, ang static routing kasi, kinakailangan mong i-configure manually. So kapag lumalaki ang network, your network requires manual configuration, which can be a disadvantage kasi it will take time o time consuming. Kaya hindi ito nag-i-scale well in large topologies, not applicable for large, instead for smaller network. So yun yung mga nakikita natin. Pero in terms of security, mas pipiliin natin to. No, easy configuration, di ba? Multiple backup, no extra resources. Yun yung mga nakikita nating advantage ng static routing, no? Now, as we continue pa, ito na yung dynamic. Ito yung kumbaga sa ano, yung hindi kaya ng static, lalo na yung pag-expand ng network, kasi nga applicable ito sa large topology. So, dynamic routing. So, ito is Routing Information Protocol. Ibig sabihin ng RIP, not rest in peace, but Routing Information Protocol. IGRP is Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. No? Extended or mamaya malalaman natin, no, yung tinatawag na exterior mga exterior gateway protocols, we will be discussing din mga yan, yung OSPF, ISIS. Pero later discuss natin, ano ba yung autonomous system? Dito, ma-discuss natin dito, no? Yung autonomous system, ito yon. Yung internal connections o internal configuration, tinatawag natin na IGP or Interior Gateway Protocol. So may makakanya-kanyang protocol kapag kinonekte mo internally. Ngayon, yung internal connection ng mga Interior Gateway Protocol natin o ng mga routers natin is tinatawag natin autonomous system. Kasi by definition, sabi nga doon sa definition, group of routers under the control of a single authority. So this may be a single authority, single administrator, once you interconnected it under a single administrator or authority, so ang protocol mo doon is interior gateway, no? And that is called autonomous system. We call this halimbawa AS100 or autonomous system 100. So ano ba yung mga examples ng mga interior gateway routing protocol? Ito RIP. I think I have already discussed it in my previous videos, and as well as I have already laboratory videos discussing the RIP. No? Ito rin ay mga interior gateway, EIGRP, OSPF. Pero commonly, ito yung gagawin natin, RIP saka OSPF. OSPF, mas preferred natin kapag large network. Ito, kapag halimbawa sa RIP, mas smaller. Comparable to a computer shop, yung dami ng mga computer. Now, once these autonomous systems are interconnected, we call it exterior gateway protocol. And that protocol is the BGP. So I hope that is clear, no? Yung part na yan. So again, ulitin natin, pag sinabi ko autonomous system, yan ay mga group of routers under a single authority. Now, yung protocol dun sa group of routers under single authority is called interior gateway protocols. An example of those protocol, ito nga mga RIP, OSPF. Now, kapag kinonect mo yung dalawang autonomous system, halimbawa, dalawang group of routers, interconnected, ngayon, napapol sila under an exterior gateway protocol. At example nga nun is yung border gateway protocol or the BGP. So, I hope yan ay klaro pagdating dyan sa dynamic routing protocol. Now, when you say interior gateway protocol, used for routing inside autonomous system, gaya ng sabi ko nga, and used to route within the individual network themselves. So, these are the examples of interior gateway. Ito yung pag-aaralan natin most commonly, the OSPF and the RIP. Although this is also discussed na rin, no? Siguro some other time, I will be discussing EIGRP. And as well as the BGP, ito naman ginagamit for exterior routing protocol na ginagamit kapag gusto mong i-route yung dalawang autonomous system. Okay? So, I hope yan ay klaro, yung part na yan. Now, as we continue pa further, dalawa yung ating IGP. Kasi nga, sa routing guys, sandaan nyo, no? Sa routing, may, di ba ito yung dynamic routing? May dynamic tayo. Okay, doon sa dynamic natin, dalawa yon. May tinatawag na interior gateway, IGP, and the BGP. Okay, ngayon, itong si IGP and BGP, dalawang klase yan, di ba? Ay yung EGP. Under IGP, dalawang klase. Ay may dalawang under pa sa kanya. Yung tinatawag natin na distance vector protocol saka link state. So, distance vector protocol. Tapos yung tinatawag na link state protocol. So, in-abbreviate ko na lang, no? Link state protocol. Now, under distance vector protocol, ito yung tinatawag natin na RIP. Ayan. Nandyan din yung tinatawag natin na OSPF. OSPF, no? Or, ano pala, aside from RIP, sa distance vector, yan, no? Version 1, version 2 muna, yan. Let's say this is the version 2, yan muna. Kasi dalawang klase yung RIP natin. Okay, RIP na version 1, version 2. Saan ginagamit si version 1? Si version 1 ginagamit kapag mga class pool. Si version 2, classless. Tandaan niyo yan, no? So, pag class pool, fix yung mga host natin, no? Kapag classless, nagbabari. So, anong kaibahan ngayon ng distance vector sa link state? Kapag in terms of routers being advertised as vectors of distance, example nga ng tinatawag na vectors of distance is number of hops. Kaya kapag hops ang parameter natin, ang metric natin, distance vector protocol. At ang isa pa example, no, noon, no, is yung link state. Yung link state naman, ito yung mas malaking network. Example niyan yung OSPF. Kaya magkaiba yung gamit ng OSPF sa RIP. Yung OSPF kasi commonly ginagamit sa mas malalaking network where there is a complete view of network topology, no? Mas maliit naman yung gamit ng routing information protocol. Although it is dynamically uh, routed, no? Yun yung tinatawag natin na yung dalawang klase. Okay? So now, in terms of distance vector, periodic updates generally sa link state are not update. So distance vector protocols periodically pass the entire routing table, no? Now, ito na may link state protocol. Example nga niya, sabi ko, ginagamit yan sa mas malalaking network. At ang example yun, open, shortest, path first. No? Yung OSPF, open, shortest, path first. Na itong OSPF can be used in a larger scope or larger area or in a larger topology. No? Where the protocols pass updates when a link state changes. No? So dynamically, no? Okay, so yun yung classification natin. Now, again, dun pa lang sa classifying routing, dalawang klase yung protocol. Actually nga sa RIP, ito yung tinatawag na version 1, yung class pool. Version 2 naman yung class test. Sabi dito, do not send subnet mask. Bakit? Kasi ang pinapalo ng class pool is the first octet. Di ba naalala nyo yung first octet? Kapag sinabi nating first octet, yung first 8 bits. Kasi nga, ang IPv4 is composed of 32. Na yung 32 bits na yon composed of 4 octets. Yung first octet, kapag nag-range ka ng 1 hanggang 1 to 6, yan ay class A, di ba? Naalala niyo yan, di ba? Class A yan. Kapag 1 to 8 hanggang 191, class B. Okay, kapag naman 192 hanggang 223, class C. Commonly, yan yung ginagamit natin, di ba? E ngayon, nagbabari yung kanyang number of hosts, no? Pero naka-fix. No? Depende sa subnet mask. Kung /8, ibig sabihin 16 million pag /8, no? Pag /16 naman, nasa 65,000 mahigit. Kapag /8, /24, 254 user. Ngayon, ang problema kapag class pool, hindi mo ma-utilize, ma-maximize. Kaya doon pumapasok yung classless. Bakit? Si subnet mask ang nade-decide kung ano yung network address. Ang isa pang pagkakakilanlan, si class pool, lahat ng subnet mask natin pare-parehas. Kung /24, throughout the network /24. While sa classless, varying, nagbabary. No, lalo doon sa mga link, /30 lang kasi dalawa lang yung talagang pwedeng i-maximize. No? So I hope yan ay naiintindihan dyan sa pagkakataong yan. Now, pag sinabing convergence, ano ba yung sinabing state of consistency? Pag state of consistency, may kinalaman sa state of reliability na every trial, every attempt, kumbaga sa halos same or parehas lang yung nakukuha ang output. So the larger the network, mas nire-require natin ng faster convergence. Kaya tandaan nyo, kapag dating sa convergence, kung faster ang yung preferred, OSPF. Pero sa RIP kasi, alam naman natin, hindi natin siya pwedeng assign sa convergence. Hindi siya ganun ka-reliable, no? Slower or mababa yung kanyang state of consistency. No? So I hope yan ay klaro doon sa part na yan. Okay, as we continue pa further, isa sa mga ginagamit na parameter, no, to find, kasi di ba si router, it finds the best path. Now, if the current path is not available, maghahanap siya ng alternative. So metric yung ginagamit na basis. So pwedeng isa doon yung distance vector, yung tawag nga doon yung hops. Halimbawa dito, from R3, o di dalawa yung hops mo, from R1, from R2, isa lang. Then the R1 itself is 0. So nakikita natin yung importansya nung hops from the destination network. Okay? So that is the metric. So tinitingnan natin ilang hops from the destination network. Kung yan ang magiging basis mo, RIP ka na. no? RIP na, no? Pero kung ang basis mo naman is bandwidth, diba, kilobit per second, oh, that is OSPF. Okay? Pero meron pang ano eh, kasi bukod sa bandwidth, saka hops. Meron din cost, delay, yung hop count, load, and reliability. Tandaan nyo, si RIP chooses the best path or the shortest path based on hop count. Kay OSPF based on bandwidth. Pero yung ibang other protocols, gumagamit ng cost, load, balancing, and so forth. No? So, depende. No? Okay. So, the method field, guys, RIP uses hop count, while the IGRP and EIGRP, pwedeng bandwidth used by default, delay used by default, or load and reliability. While the ISPF and OSPF, since ito ay cost and bandwidth, no, under Cisco's implementation. Load balancing, it is also a one-routing protocol. It is used to distribute packets among multiple same cost paths. So equal yung kanyang magiging distribution. That is called load balancing. Now, isa sa mga terminology na dapat nating maintindihan is yung administrative distance. Kumbaga, yan yung nag-specify ng preference. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng AD? Ang AD kasi guys, in other terminology, yan yung tinatawag natin na ano ba yung routing protocol na ginagamit mo? Kasi may kanya-kanyang specific value yan. Halimbawa, 120. Kung di ako nagkakamali sa RIP. Di ba? Kapag 110 naman, OSPF. Kung di rin ako nagkakamali, no? Pag 1 is static. So basically, yun yung mga nakikita natin na mga numerical value. Ngayon, halimbawa, dito, gumamit ako ng 120, o automatically, alam na natin yung type of protocol. Alam din na kasi pag RIP 120, kapag EIGRP 90, 110 naman kapag OSPF. So doon pala nakikita natin yung kind of routing protocol. So through administrative distance, and you can do that by using the command show IP route. Kaya kapag ikaw nasa network, isa sa mga tinitingnan mo din dyan, yung kanyang administrative distance. Ano ba yung routing na ginamit ng isang specific destination ko? So malalaman ko tuloy as your network administrator through the administrative distance. Now, to identifying this in a routing table, it is the first number brackets, no? In the routing table. So makikita nyo dito, as you notice, when I type the show IP route, lalabas dito yung aking mga connections. Yung, for example, no? As you can notice, makakakuha tayo dito ng mga values, no? Okay, mamaya pakita ko sa inyo yung mga equivalent niyan. Anyway, this is the default administrative distances. Gaya na sabi ko, 120 si RIP, 110 si OSPF, EIGRP, 90, static is 1. The lower, the better. Tandaan nyo, no? So, direct connect, yung 0 is yung mga direct connection. Default value static is 1. Static yon kapag 1, no? Now, ano bang ibig sabihin ng mga symbol na yan? Pag C connected, S static, IIGRP, RRIP, D is EIGRP, O is OSPF, no? So, yung may IA is may inter-area. Okay, dito makikita natin yung connection. So, naka-C tayo, then naka-S, naka-static. So, nakikita natin yung connection. In summary, the dynamic routing share information between router as well as updating routing table when the topology changes. Unlike kapag static, kinakailangan pang manual reconfiguration. And nagagamit ng router yung kanyang ability to choose the best path using the dynamic routing. Kasi we can use dynamic routing protocol to fulfill determining the best path. So dalawang klaseng routing protocol, IGAP. So again, in summary, no, kung ano natin, ito yung routing. Okay, ito yung routing natin. Okay, so let me write. Tapos, meron tayo dito na static, dalawa. May static tayo. Okay, static. Saka may tinatawag tayo na dynamic. Okay, dynamic, no? Ngayon, sa dynamic na yon, may dalawang klase. May tinatawag tayo na ah, interior gateway, IGP, and the EGP. So tandaan nyo, ang communication are governed by protocols. Kaya may mga protocols tayo. Mga rules, sets of rules no, and policies. No? EGP. Now, dito sa IGP na ito, may dalawa under sa kanya. Yung tinatawag natin na Distance Vector Protocol, DVP. O yan yung hierarchy. At yung tinatawag natin na Link State Protocol. So, may mga example na protocol yan. Si Distance Vector is the RIP. Nasa kanya yung RIP. Version 1, version 2. Si version 1 gumagamit ng class pool. Si version 2 gumagamit ng class less, no? Si Link State Protocol, example yan, mas preferable sa mga large network. OSPF yung ginagamit. Kay Link State Protocol. Kung si DBP gumagamit ng number of hops, si Link State is most likely bandwidth. Kaya si OSPF yung commonly lang ginagamit, no? So I hope yan ay klaro, no? Diyan sa part na yan, no? Okay, now, as we move forward sa ating discussion, metrics, ito yung ginagamit para malaman natin yung best path. Halimbawa, yung current path, if the current path fails, most likely the router would choose an alternative path. So ano nagiging basis niya? Hindi naman siya pwede mag-decide without any basis. So yun yung metric na sinasabi. Yung metric na yon, it's either ang ginagamit doon sa metric na yon, it's either the in selecting the best path, no? Ang ginagamit doon sa metric na yon is either number of hops or number of bandwidth, pwedeng cost, delay. Now, yung administrative distance naman, guys, it is an example of the preference. Kung RIP, yan ay 110 or 120 kapag 110 OSPF. One is static, default connection o yung connected lang is 0. So ano ba yung mga components ng routing table? Ayan, route source and administrative distance and as well as the metric. I hope the lesson is clear. I want to end this discussion.